Hello.
Morning.
You can always tell it's getting cold because we're standing here rubbing his hands together.
Oh, and we've got big jumpers. I've got my chunky jumper on.
Sean's got his chunky jumper on. The last time we saw you, I'd just walked down that big hill from that big golden tower on top of the slag heaps, didn't I? That was near Polesworth. We've moved on a little bit since then, and we're now near Lichfield, but we're still on the Coventry Canal. And we're in a marina. You know, like, we're not marina people, but we're in a marina. We actually moored outside a couple of days ago. We're at Kings Orchard Marina near Lichfield, and we've snuck in to stock up on diesel and wood and coal and things like that. But I tell you what, it's actually pretty gorgeous in here.
I'd live here. So quiet.
It is really quiet, and the staff are just like really friendly, aren't they?
Yeah. Best marina we've ever been to.
It's only Otis, it's nothing to do with us. It's just the Otis effect, isn't it? But it is a really nice place. The marina's lovely, and the chandlery is just brilliant. There's a shop and there's everything you need in here.
Yeah.
So yeah, really nice. But we're not staying here. We're off again today, and we've got a decision to make. We're off towards Fradley Junction.
Ooh.
And we can do a left and go up towards Stoke-on-Trent.
We've been there.
On the Trent Mersey, but yeah, we were there this time last year. Or we can do a right turn and go up towards Nottingham and the River Trent.
We've not been there.
We could ride the Trent back up towards Yorkshire.
Home
for Christmas, how does that sound?
Wait and see.
Neither of us have ever really fancied staying in a marina long term. We both love to keep moving. But after spending a few days here, we found out just how peaceful it is, and the staff and facilities are lovely. Kind of fallen in love with the place. At least we know where we'd go if ever we want to settle down for a while.
That's a busy road.
What? What?
That's a busy road.
What? Just saw a dog walker that looked like Annika Rice.
She did look like Annika Rice.
Do I mean Annika Rice or Angela Rippon? One of them. Anyway, on our port side is what used to be the site of RAF Litchfield. It was built in 1939. It was a bomber maintenance place for the bombers.
Really?
That makes sense, doesn't it?
Just.
The crews from there ran over 1,000 bombing missions to Germany during the Second World War. Wow, that's amazing, isn't it?
It is.
But it closed down in 1958, and slowly but surely, as you can see from the air, it's been taken over by houses and business developments, and it's getting very dark in here, isn't it? And that might be because there's a haunted presence around the old airfield.
Ooh.
In 1943, an Australian airman was just getting ready to take off, and he was on the runway. He'd been given clearance to go, and he suddenly realised he'd forgotten his code book. He'd left it in the mess room.
That's naughty.
So he stopped his aircraft, jumped out, and totally distracted by the fact that he wanted his code book, forgot that he'd left his propellers running. Oh, I can't even look. I can't look. Yeah. And ever since, the ghost of a headless airman has been seen wandering around the old airfield. Is that him?
Oh.
Fradley Junction's another one of those well-known places on the canal network that we've not visited yet. It's steeped in history, and it's where the Coventry Canal ends and it joins the Trent and Mersey Canal. If we take a left at the junction, we'll go up towards Stoke-on-Trent, the Harecastle Tunnel and the northwest. If we go right, we'll head towards Nottingham, the River Trent and the northeast. Before we do anything though, I've got a swing bridge to, well, swing. Finally, off the Coventry Canal. I think we were only on there about 2 minutes, weren't we? We did a left turn at Fradley Junction, back onto the Trent and Mersey, heading north towards Stoke-on-Trent. And we've got these two locks straight away. That was middle lock. And it's a bit weird because the water normally comes in towards the front of the lock as you're coming in when it's filling. On that one, it comes more towards the middle, so it's a bit aggressive, and if you're not careful it can pull the boat forward. It can end up crashing into the lock gate. That's why there's a volunteer on there, and you're supposed to wind the paddles quite slowly, which is what we did. And we've got another lock coming up, and then another one, and both of them are manned by volunteers. We dropped lucky this morning. I think that's the fastest we've ever done 2 locks.
Yeah.
in the history of Silver, in all 18 months of Silver Fox.
Such efficient volunteers.
Brilliant volunteers, and well needed, because that first one, middle lock, is a bit aggressive, like I said. The second one, which is called Shade House Lock, reminds me of Jailhouse Rock. So I was kind of mumbling like Elvis all the way through the lock, and the lockkeeper's looking at me like, are you Elvis? Fradley Junction is weird because we've seen it like dozens of times.
On other vlogs, yeah.
Yeah, on other people's vlogs, and when I've been researching, because it's like this iconic historical junction of the Trent and Mersey and the Coventry Canal. And the buildings, the Swan, the pub, which is now the Swan, and the warehouse, which is attached to it, are 250 years old. They were built in the 1770s, and they don't look 250 years old.
No,
it's like,
they don't.
You don't look 84.
I don't.
But yeah, heading north again now on the Trent and Mersey, off towards Rugeley. The point we are now, the exact point, I'm going to what 3 words, it's somewhere on the screen, is the most southerly point of the Trent and Mersey. It doesn't go any further south than this. You can almost see Bournemouth.
No, you can't.
No, you can't. Because you think of like the Trent and Mersey has been a northern canal, like the Trent being north-northeast and the Mersey being northwest. And it still is north because we're near Fradley. But this is the most southerly part of the canal, so we can only go north in both directions from here. And it's weird speaking about that because it was a year ago this week that we last came off the Trent and Mersey.
It is.
Do you remember up near Middlewich?
I do.
At King's Lock. That was the noisiest mooring ever. Do you remember next
all
to
those
that?
Trucks?
The main road, and it was like, oh, banging all night.
Nice fish and chips though.
It was a lovely fish and chip shop. Next stop, another lock. There's these signposts that you get up and down the canals. You've probably seen them because we've shown them before, and a lot of the canals have them. We saw them coming up towards Braunston. Do you remember? The first one was like 87 miles to Braunston.
Called mileposts.
Yay! Figures. And they have them on the Lancaster. In fact, they were just putting new ones on the Lancaster last year. Do you remember?
When we were there, yes.
There was a faff right at the side of our boat when they were digging one to put one in.
Yeah.
Now, they have them on the Trent and Mersey as well. But they took them all out during the Second World War because there was this scenario where they didn't want the Germans invading, finding a canal and knowing how far it was to Preston Brook.
Why would they want to know that?
Well, they didn't want to go to Derwent Mouth at other end. That sounds wrong, doesn't it? Because we know somebody called Derwent, don't we?
Do we?
Yeah, Derwent. Derwent. You're alright, Derwent's mouth. So they took them all out, but then some of them disappeared. So after the war, they put them all back, but a lot of them were missing, so they had to make new ones. So if you come along the Trent Mersey and notice the different ones, that's why. Sometimes it's hard to believe that we've been cruising on Silver Fox for just over 18 months now. We've travelled nearly 1,000 miles, we've been up and down almost 800 locks and swung open 130 swing bridges. My shoulders will testify to that. Time's really flown, even at 3 miles an hour, and it only feels like a few weeks since we launched the boat up in Rufford. I sometimes look back at the photos I've taken and watch some of the videos that we've made, and it's like I'm watching them for the first time again. But we're really excited for the future. We haven't even seen half of the network yet, and we've got some really big plans for the next year or two. For now though, we're just coming into the village of Armitage. What comes to mind if I said Armitage Shanks?
A nice lamb shank Sunday roast dinner.
Food. Do you remember the shoulder of lamb from Delphin's restaurant in Tenerife? Tell you what, the sheep must have been walking around the field like Arnold Schwarzenegger, the size of the shoulders.
Just put a whole shoulder on my plate.
You and Dad would demolish a sheep basically, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So no, Armitage Shanks.
Toilets.
Toilets, that's right. We're in the village of Armitage, and back in 1817 a guy called Bond,
James Bond.
Thomas Bond,
Not James Bond.
started making toilets in this factory just on our port side, and he did really well. And then in the 1960s he merged with Shank Holdings, I have to be careful, Shank Holdings in Glasgow, and created Armitage Shanks.
Wow.
It's not that anymore, it's now called Ideal Standard.
Oh, that's boring.
It is very boring, isn't it? But they still make toilets here. It's the biggest place in Britain where they make toilets and basins. They make over 1 million a year, and they're shipped all over the world.
That's a lot of poo.
Otis is loving autumn. He's picking up every single leaf that falls on the stern of the boat. I think he's got a taste for leaves. We're taking them off him, don't worry. A little bit further ahead, at the next bridge, the canal gets really narrow. So narrow, in fact, that only one narrowboat can get through at a time. And it's quite a distance as well. So Sean's jumped off the boat at the last bridge, bridge 61. He's going to walk forward, make sure that it's clear for us to go through. He's got a radio, so he can radio me and tell me what's going on. It's very rocky and very narrow, and that's because it used to be a tunnel. It used to be Armitage Tunnel, or Plumb Pudding Tunnel as it used to be known, because it was named after the pub just before it. And the reason it's not a tunnel anymore is after years of mining subsidence, they had to take the top off it because it was all becoming deformed and starting to fall in. So in the 1970s they took the roof off the tunnel, and we're left with this very narrow, rocky passage. And it is narrow as well. We wanted to say thank you to everybody who left comments and ideas and suggestions and thoughts on what they'd like to see on the new boat builds. back on the announcement blog that we did a few months ago. We've got a bit of an update for you. The base plate has gone down. Do you think they'll know what that means? They've laid the first piece of metal on the floor, basically. It just sounds better when it says the base plate is down. We got loads. In fact, we had over 2,000 comments and suggestions on the new boats.
Yeah.
Some of them are a bit wacky.
Yeah. And if we include all the suggestions, the boat is going to be 400 foot long.
Yeah, 400 foot long, 60 feet high, 12 feet wide. So a lot of the suggestions the builders are having a look at, some of them are really good, some of them are a little bit, we can't do, they're just not practical. A lot of especially of American audience suggested things like pull-out sides like you get on RVs. And we can't do that because you're not allowed to encroach on the towpath, it's dangerous. So we can't do anything like that, we can't put extensions on. Come on. Stop eating makeup and stuff, I mean...
Stop eating makeup!
And a lot of people have talked about electric engines and hybrid engines. We'll go into more detail as the vlogs go on about that. So when can you start expecting to see the vlogs on the big build? I'm asking you, because I've got no idea who runs this show anymore.
I've no idea.
It turned into the Otis show back in the summer and that's been it.
I don't do the editing.
We will start showing you some of the build very soon, so keep watching. We're just coming in to Moulin Rugeley.
Moulin Rugeley.
I had to check with a few people to see if it is actually Rugeley or not Rugeley.
Rugeley?
Well, you never know, do you? There'll be one person in this town that will be watching this for some unknown reason and will say, oh yeah, it's pronounced, I don't know, with a Z in it. You don't know, do you? Well, you don't know. I always get it wrong. So I'm putting my bets on Rugeley, Moulin Rugeley. We're going to stop and get some shopping because there's not 2 supermarkets.
3. I only want 1.
3 supermarkets.
I only want 1.
So we're going to try and find a nice visitor mooring. If we can, we're going to stop and get some shopping and then move on to a nicer visitor mooring. So we didn't want to kind of involve you in that faff because I do tend to get a bit stressed.
And it's boring anyway.
Yeah, so we're going to leave you in this nice bit of Rugeley and see you next time. We hope you've enjoyed your little journey with us. If you have, and you're not already, subscribe to the channel. Give the video a thumbs up if you wouldn't mind, and if you hit the notifications bell, YouTube will let you know on your app or on your desktop every time we release a new vlog, 4 o'clock on a Friday in the UK.
Yeah, you should know it by now.
If you want to help support the channel, keep it going, you can do it either by Patreon, become a patron of the channel. There's a link if you're watching on a computer or a smartphone up above Sean's head. Alternatively, you can click the join button on YouTube's homepage, our YouTube homepage.
Yeah, our YouTube homepage or any video page.
I fancy jam on bread. Can we have jam on bread?
If you want, there's some down there.
I'll see you next time.
Ta-ra!
Have I got a bogey?
Yeah.
Which one?
That's it.
Bogey check works. It's straighter than you are anyway.
Oh my lord.
You gonna stop laughing? No, he's not going to stop laughing.
We're doing it again because I did it wrong.
It's like a very milky sunset this morning, isn't it?
Sunset?
Yeah. 3, 2, RAF Litchfield. I thought we were being thrown at then. I thought people were throwing sticks at us.
What?
I just thought I heard a stick landing near me. Haunted presence. You like that?
A spook.
It's like Tommy Cooper in reverse, isn't it? Just like that. He had his engines going and he'd been given clear thingy to... You know what I mean?
Clear thingy?
Yeah, I don't know the jargon.
Clearance.
I'm confused. Hey up! On our port side. You right?
It's easy.
Is that him? Tried not to show it until... Are you ready? Right, here we go again. Oh.
Kettle's boiling.
What did he say after that? Back to the script.
Habs.
Toilets.
Yeah.
Yay! Colin, shall I have Shanks for code word for something else?
No, you can't say that.
He missed that one completely. He would have laughed if he'd have known that was coming. And the word crap actually comes from crapé, which is French, which means
isn't
like,
that a pancake?
Crap, no, that's frappé. No, that's a frappuccino, isn't it? No, it's crepe.